Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to go over the entire patch notes. It's going to be a little bit cringe because I've never tried recording me reading off a script before. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. There's a lot of but hey, there's a lot of quality of life, a lot of balance patch. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, before we actually jump into reading the patch notes, they did throw up a nice little YouTube video, so I'm going to go ahead and play that now for anybody who did not get to see it. Alright, this latest patch features new background options for blurred backgrounds, which is huge. An update to the ranked UI to now show if you're in the top 1,000 of your region. That is nice. And multiple performance improvements. Also check out Forsaken Magyar, Morn Emote, B-Bot Sidekick, new avatars, and Ezio's reduced price. We also made updates to the color exclusion list to help players differentiate an opposing legend's color from the background or from their own color. In addition, we made a balance pass that allows Ezio to be tournament legal, made some game improvements like on the render tool and much more. The render tool fix is very appreciated. I use the render tool a lot for photoshops, thumbnails, all that good stuff, and it's kind of buggy at times, so that is greatly appreciated by me at least. And to catch the latest Brawlhalla news and content, be sure to follow BMG on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Discord. Enter the battle with Forsaken Magyar. Alright, so this skin is absolutely insane looking. It's terrifying. It's sexy. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, even the default color scheme is amazing. Give us a color option that is that default skin color. You've also got the Morn Emote, which instant purchase for me. I've been spamming people with that every time that my teammate falls, and now it's a 2v1. Sometimes, you want to get a little salty, so you hit them with a little crybaby emote, so that's always fun. The new B-Bot is absolutely adorable, and take a look at these avatars. I really like these, especially the weapon pickup one. I might actually get that one for myself, but let's be honest, I'm never getting off the Bryn setting at her computer avatar. And then we also have new flag avatars for Montenegro, Slovenia, and Trinidad and Tobago. My apologies if I got that wrong. I'm sure I got it right since I said it twice. Ezio price also reduced down to 5,400 gold. That's great for anyone who doesn't have the All Legends pack. So go ahead and grab Ezio and test them out. I've been enjoying Orb a lot more ever since Ezio came out. Brawl of the week is Kung Foot. Nothing too crazy about this. Anybody who's new to the game, check it out. You know, it's going to open you up to a whole world of custom game lobbies where there's a lot more than just fighting in this fighting game. There's a lot of fun little side games you can play as well with your friends, so check that out. New background options. New background options are available in the settings menu. Players having issues tracking the movement of legends on screen can now choose to also blur the backgrounds in game. You've got the default backgrounds, those beautiful Brawlhalla backgrounds and animations. Simple backgrounds, backgrounds that have animated effects will not animate. And then blurred backgrounds, backgrounds will be blurred based on the setting of low, medium, high. Animated effects will also not animate. This is huge as somebody who personally has taken the backgrounds into Photoshop and blurred and unblurred, added little memes in the background, all sorts of stuff like that. It's really nice that console players are also going to have that option for just a little bit more customization, because personally, I think the high blur really makes a difference because you really can differentiate the platforms, especially soft platforms, and the characters a lot better. I feel like I'm hyper-focused anytime that I've got blurred backgrounds on. So check that out for sure. I think you'll like it. Color exclusion update. Color exclusion occurs when an opposing legend's color scheme would be too visually similar to another legend's color scheme or to the background. The game will automatically display the legend with a different, more contrasting color scheme. We have expanded the list of exclusions the game checks for in this update. This is another step towards helping players differentiate an opposing legend's color from the background and from their own color. Example, Skyforge could potentially cause difficulty in readability when matched against colors like gray and purple. This update helps to improve readability for this case and others. Color exclusions only affect how you see your opponent. If you select a color scheme like Skyforge, you will always see your legend in Skyforge. This is really nice. I feel like it's either, is it Gala or Gala? I think it's Gala. That color scheme is the worst offender because it matches with so many different color schemes. But this is a huge quality of life update. I'm a huge fan, and I'm really glad to see that it's not going to change the legend colors we pick. So, if we're on Demon Island and we pick, a darker color, it's not going to swap us. Little sad that the opposing team might not see my intended drip, but, hey, it is what it is. Ranked UI update. Before this update, if you ranked in the top 250 global in 1s or 2s, a window would appear in the rank lobby that shows your current global rank. Now, this window will now display your ranking amongst the top 1,000 in your region. For example, if you're ranked number 1,000 or higher in US East, it will now display your ranking and your region of US E. If you are number 101, or 1001 in US East, the window will not be shown. So, in other words, get good. This is a really interesting update. I'm glad it includes a few of us that aren't, top 100 in the world. So that's always nice to see. Now on to some game improvements. User experience. Improved gameplay performance in match. We've made several improvements that should result in smoother, more consistent frame rates by reducing the number of dropped frames, momentary hitches. These performance improvements are ongoing. We will have additional performance improvements in patch 6.11 and in future patches. Decrease network latency on Steam to match the latency of other platforms. Render tool update. Epic skins and crossovers now display their unique selected poses if they have one. That is awesome. When switching to a new item after rendering an item, the new item will no longer have its resolution cropped. Oh my, thank God. There is nothing worse. So I use this tool a lot for art, for Photoshops, thumbnails, all sorts of stuff, little infographics I make. But the most painful thing in the world, I don't know if you guys watch the showdowns, but if we posted, or when we posted the drip contest, I would, hop in there, go to sword, go, select the sword that I used, go select the sword that Spadecake's used, and then I do that for all the weapons, all the legends, and the worst thing ever was to open up Photoshop, open up the folder, and realize that half of them are cropped because the sizes are wrong. So that is a huge fix, greatly appreciated. Now on to the bug fixes. User experience. Fixed a bug where sometimes you would gain or lose 0 elo. So that's why I'm not diamond yet. Okay, it should be fixed. You should see me rocking a diamond border next season. User interface. Fixed a bug where the bounty and street brawl game mode icons were not displaying in the public games list. On consoles, fixed a bug where level select thumbnails wouldn't show when players pick different maps. Sounds. Fixed a bug where for rest emote sound effects excuse me, I'm not cutting that. Fixed a bug where the for rest emote sound effects keep looping. Art and animation. Fixed a visual bug where the charge FX and star were missing for Orion Prime and Fangwild's Heart Ember. Fixed a visual bug on the Winter's Grave Scythe back away pose, where in some circumstances the default Scythe weapon skin would show instead. Now for the real reason everybody's here. We've got the balance patch. Balance. We have made several quality of life improvements for key attacks on a number of weapons, as well as improvements on reliability and underutilization, or underutilized signature attacks. Episode 1, guys. I'm gonna stumble a little bit, a little too lazy to edit at this point. This patch also contains Ezio's first round of balance adjustments, Thank the Lord Above, which makes him legal for use in official tournaments. This will be the last balance patch before the Brawlhalla World Championship 2022. Alright, on to blasters. The blaster's ground pound now has a more gentle trigger hit for more reliable use when striking opponents at the edge of the attack or near solid geometry like a stage or a wall or floor. I hate this. I hate blasters. Get them out of the game. I hate them. Just kidding. Blaster's ground pound fixed a case where the target could be dropped before the final hit. Gauntlets. We have slightly increased the recovery time on miss for the Gauntlet Sayer to better match its high utility in offstage movement and edge guards. The side air also has received a larger threat coverage on the on-hit follow-up, allowing it to be used in more cases such as against a wall where it previously would not contact. Gauntlet side air. Increased recovery time on miss from 1 fixed 21 variable to 3 fixed 21 variable. Increased the threat coverage near the user for the second swing on hit for more reliable use against walls. I'm always sad to see a little bit of a nerf on gauntlets, but I played them last night. Didn't seem too different, so we'll see how that one plays out. On to Greatsword. The Greatsword's attack cancel window now starts earlier for several bridge attacks that had recently been made quicker. This earlier window decreases the time between an immediate bridge attack following the finisher, restoring the tighter dodge windows that previously existed for certain attack chains. This is nice because, as we all know, Greatsword kind of got nerfed into the ground. It was a little too hot coming out of the gate, but now it's got to the point where nobody's really using it, and if you do run into somebody using it, they're usually either brand new, don't know what they're doing, or they are an absolute god with this thing. So luckily now, newer players that are learning the game, or just people who want to learn the weapon in general, it'll be a little bit easier to get into that. Greatsword side bridge decreased attack cancel time from 22 to 20. Greatsword side bridge decreased attack cancel time from 20 to 18. Greatsword down bridge decreased the attack cancel time from 18 to 16, and Greatsword down bridge decreased attack cancel time from 19 to 17. Hammer. The last round of adjustments for Hammer Downlight included an increase in recovery time on miss, which proved to make this attack too vulnerable. We have slightly decreased the recover time on miss to bring it halfway between its two previous values for a more appropriate amount of risk during quicker paced gameplay. Hammer Downlight decreased recovery time on miss from 8 fixed to 20 variable to 6 fixed and 20 variable. So I'm not a hammer player. I have enjoyed less hammer in the ranked queues, but I was playing with our good buddy Nova Waffles last night, and he seemed to be loving the hammer changes. It seems small, but you know, he was talking about how the downlight felt like a slug last patch, so you know, he's killing it. I definitely saw some improvements in gameplay last night, Nova, so let's keep on trucking. Guitars. The guitar sidelight now has a consistent recovery time on hits across all dexterity values, allowing for similar frame advantage and dodge windows between follow-up attacks for all legends. The recovery time on miss still maintains its variable duration based on dexterity. We have also slightly reduced the stun of guitar recovery to allow a dodge window in most cases of immediate repeated use. Guitar sidelight changed recover time on hit 1 fixed 7 variable to 5 fixed 0 variable. Guitar recovery decreased stun from 21 to 20. That is huge, especially for legends like Nye. If dexterity kind of goes out the window, you're going to see a lot more Nye players, and hopefully they're not just spamming the heavy button. Now on to Scythe. The Scythe recovery windows now, try that again. The Scythe recovery attack now has a slightly different setup location from the multi-hit portion for more reliable use against walls and when striking opponents near the very edge of the attack at the end of its hit window. Scythe recovery fixed a case where a target could be dropped before the final hit, especially when performed against walls. Here's an idea. Remove Scythe from the game, give every Scythe legend a set of gauntlets, and we'll just call it a day. And then next, we'll take a look at Cannon and maybe Lance. Now on to specific legends. So let's start with Azure. We have decreased the minimum charge time of Azure side guitars and side sword for a quicker response and more reliable use in the heat of battle. Azure side sword also begins its movement slightly earlier to maintain its current range on tap. Azure side Katars decrease minimum charge time from 15 to 12, and on the sword it's 16 to 13. Decreased time before movement was 15 to 12. So that's nice. I'd love to see some more Katar play in game in general. Azuri's probably one of my favorite Katar legends because she's got the type of sword and the type of signatures that if you barely know how to play the weapons, you can kind of jump into and get a feel for how it's supposed to be played. On to Cassidy. Cassidy's neutral blasters now has less recovery time for less risk to better fit its role as an anti-air attack. Cassidy's side hammer now deals most of its damage in the final swing, as striking opponents from maximum range would previously grant a notably low reward. I hate to see Cassidy buffed because every time I play against a Cassidy, I get smoked, but I digress. Cassidy neutral blasters decreased total recovery time from 18 to 16. Hammer redistributed damage to have a greater emphasis on the final swing, but total damage remains the same. On to Cross. We have decreased the force of Cross's neutral gauntlets, side gauntlets, and down blasters to bring the knockout power of these attacks in line with other similarly low range or low priority attacks on high strength legends. How dare you nerf Cross? He was fine the way that he was. He was my side pick. I kept him in my pocket in case I ever needed some busted gauntlets, but I guess those days are behind us. Cross neutral gauntlets decreased the force from 75 fixed, 55 variable to 75 fixed, 50 variable. Cross side gauntlets decreased force from 70 fixed, 57 variable to 70 fixed, 52 variable. And down blasters 75 55 to 75 53. Now on to Dusk. Dusk neutral spear now has less recovery time on miss for more, but okay, I'm gonna do Dusk one more time. Dusk. Dusk's neutral spear has less recovery time on miss for an appropriate risk given its role as a precise anti-air attack, and it was decreased from 16 to 13. This is nice because I have really been, ever since Ezio popped off, I decided to start learning Orb a little bit better. You know, as a level 30 some Petra, it's about time I learned how to use something other than gauntlets. But Dusk's spear is really clean. I've been popping off with Dusk. You know, I got the Nimue skin, pretty dope. But anyway, enough about that. On to Ezio. This is a massive paragraph. Now, expect me to mess up a couple of words. Bear with me. Ezio. Ezio's side sword now Ezio's side sword now travels farther when performed while moving for greater range and more reliable use. As it previously fell short of most other similar attacks, we have increased the cooldown time of Ezio's downsword and increased the effect of directional influence when struck by repeat uses of this attack to allow escape options from overly long team combos. Ezio's neutral orb has received an increase in its risk with greater recovery time on miss, and a decrease to its own reward to its reward with less force to better match other anti-air attacks of similar speed and coverage. Ezio's side orb now has greater minimum charge and greater recovery time, allowing for more reasonable vulnerability and a redirectional total time on hit. Boys, girls, days. I'm gonna have to get spank cakes to read this part of the patch notes next time. Half of this stuff goes over my head, but looks like Ezio got a little bit of a nerf, which is always nice to see. Glad that he's tournament legal now. Ezio's side sword increased momentum bonus at the beginning of the attack from movement such as a dash. Ezio downsword greatly increased maximum allowed angle of directional influence when struck by a repeat instance of this attack in a single combo. Increased cooldown on time of miss 15 to 25. Increased cooldown time on hit to 11. From 11 to 38. Ezio neutral orb increased total recovery time from 17 to 20, decreased force from 65 fixed 56 variable to 65 fixed 53 variable. Ezio side orb increased minimum charge time from 12 to 14, increased total recovery time from 21 to 25. Isaiah. Isaiah's side cannon was previously too slow across the board. We have reduced its time on hit, recovery time on miss, and increased its movement bonus. This greatly increases the overall range and reliability while also decreasing its relative risk. Isaiah is one of those legends where you really don't run into him unless it's someone who is an absolute cannon god. Don't get me started on blasters, but again, just like some other legends I mentioned above, it's nice to see a little bit of an improvement, a little bit ease of use for, you know, those less played legends. So, Lin Fei. Lin Fei's side cannon now has faster time to hit for a more responsive and earlier leap both on tap and when releasing after a charge. This brings its overall time to hit closer in line with other signatures of similar range, especially given its lengthy total duration. I'm going to need to learn to read. Anybody got a couple of Sesame Street DVDs you boy could borrow? Lin Fei side cannon decreased time on hit after release from 17 to 15. Just like with Isaiah, it's nice seeing some of these less played legends get a little bit of a buff, so maybe you see newer players using them. Get the Space Dogfighter bundle with Prime Gaming. Actually, this is a really nice skin. If you don't have Rax unlocked, it unlocks that as well. Gives you a lance weapon, gives you a nice little sidekick. I've actually went ahead and tossed up my code because I don't need any of this. So I tossed my code up on the screen now, so go ahead and grab it. If you're the one that claims it, say so in the comments. Say hey, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. Greatly appreciated. Now lastly, we have this week's free Legends pool. Wushang, Lucian, Hattori, Mordex, Reno, Mako, Zol, Yumiko, and Scarlet. So, pro tip for the newbies. Don't touch Scarlet. That's a sin. Don't touch Mordex. That's a sin. Touch Zol when angry. Really good legends to learn if you're new to the game. Wushang is a fantastic legend. Spear is a very, very low barrier of entry to learn how to use it. Same thing, Gauntlets isn't too hard to learn, so that's a solid legend pick to start with. Hattori's not so bad either. Sword's pretty easy to pick up. If you want to jump straight into some of the more technical weapons, check out Reno, check out Mako. Katars or blasters, a little bit harder. Same thing, Greatsword just got a buff, so check that out. So there was Balance Patch 6.10. Let me know what you think in the comments, and hey, if you like to hear my redneck voice, give us a sub. So if you like it, let me know in the comments. If you don't, also let me know in the comments. If you like the video format, let me know as well. Like I said, this is something new we're giving a shot. I'd love to get some others on the the balance side to read those off. They could have a little bit more input than I do. But thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe to us, and if you like hearing my weirdly redneck voice, go ahead and check out our podcast. We are about to drop episode 30 here shortly after we took a very short hiatus. But thanks for watching.